Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to day 3 of the What's on Tap podcast advent calendar.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Well, it would not be advent calendar if we didn't do that at least once. At
some
point.
Or 12
At some
times.
point, or 12 times. We will never do 12. Because I don't think anyone can do 12 times. I don't know anyone that knows every. I know it's 11 lords of leaping, 8 maids of milking, 7 swans of swimming, 6 geese a laying,
5 gold rings.
All right. Well, like what it's 12. Is it 12 lords leaping? 11 maids a calling? It does not really matter. Let's not delve into that today.
It's definitely 10 lords of leaping.
10 lords leaping. All right. So we don't know what 12 is. We're not really sure what 11 is. And then the rest of the numbers are like really once you get down to past 7, that's when it really kicks in.
I figured I would get it out of the way when we're on 3. So
it's much easier to do. I'm sure if you go back and listen, we have this conversation every year.
I always fall back on this song. So
I'm going to open up beer 3.
And this is a beer I brought.
It is the beer that you brought. Oh, it's a Cantillon.
I always bring a Cantillon.
It is a Cantillion Gueuze from 1900. So it's a 100-year-old, 112. What year are we? 22-year-old beer.
It's because they've changed the label.
Yes.
So it's a 2022.
It was bottled on February 2nd, 2022. So it's 2/2/22.
Yes.
Nice. That's really cool. So what? I love the new logo. I love the new label. I think it's much better than the one before. But how do you feel about fresh Cantillon? This is a really divisive subject within the Gueuze community.
It's hit or miss, and I think it's not as good as fresh Driffontainen.
100% agree.
But I figured I wanted to include it in the calendar. I always include at least one Cantillon.
Yep.
And when I saw I had this and it was the new label, I figured I'll give you like the small element of surprise. When you look at the label and you don't immediately recognize it, you go, wait, what is this? Martinez. It's the regular Gueuze.
Well, I saw the label. I saw the bottle cap. Because the bottle cap has a little tipsy man drinking.
But that just means it's a Cantillon. Right. And then you look at the label and it's not the one you recognize.
I know what the new label is.
And
I love the new label. I've been really enjoying the new label. I'm going to keep smelling the cork because it doesn't smell as cheesy and
that's good.
Feet-like.
That's good.
As it can. So I'm always a little skeptical about fresh Cantillon because I've had some year of Cantillons and they've been amazing. I've had some that have been this is just old cheese and sweaty gym socks and it's undrinkable.
I have a small memory of drinking 19 and 20 fresh and not liking them.
Yeah.
And then drinking 21 fresh and actually liking it. So I figured let's take a chance.
Huh. Interesting.
Not that much
the carbonation is almost
it's very thin.
What do you call it when it doesn't carbonate in a bottle?
Loeric?
Yeah, and that's the
Loeric means just sleepy.
Right. So yeah, this is a little on the I would call it the sleepy side.
Yeah.
Because the carbonation is really surprisingly thin.
But when you smell it,
It's amazing.
It definitely has some lemon and green apples. It almost reminds me a little bit of fresh Driffontainen on the aroma, to be honest.
There's a little bit of dryness to it. It definitely has that ripe kind of essence to it.
It smells better than the bad fresh Cantillons we've had.
I have high hopes for this. Everything is pointing into it's going to be a winner category.
Try it. Cheers.
Oh my God, that's really good. Mm-hmm. Wow, that might be the best fresh Cantillon I've had in forever.
I actually agree. When you drink aged ones, they've always kind of mellowed out to a really nice place. I think the 2014 was the worst one to cellar because all of those got really moldy corks and tasted like really bad moldy cheese. This one is fresh, slightly tart, lemony.
Yeah,
It's good.
I would say it's got this nice. There's a mineraliness to it. There's like a bit of a mineral sulfury notes to it, but it's also like this lemon lime flavor.
Yeah.
The carbonation, even though it's light, really complements the beer in many ways. It's
When you poured it, I was afraid it was going to be too uncarbonated.
right. It's gonna be flat.
It
was
works.
gonna be really, really
It
flat.
works.
But no, this is exceptional. This is probably hands down the best fresh. Because for me, Cantillion Gueuze, you take it and you put it on the shelf for like 5 years, and then it's drinkable. I can't say I've ever had a fresh Cantillon that didn't benefit from minimum 5 years of shelf life.
I could go for 2 or 3 years for the ones that we didn't like fresh. I think 2 or 3 years would mellow them out.
Sure,
And
but
to be fair, this one is almost a year old.
it's
February, and it's December now. So
true. But I mean, 9 months is not a year make.
it's true.
But it's a solid beer. I mean, this is really, really outstanding. I'm really enjoying this way too much. Wow.
This year,
3 days in a row of real bangers.
I think this because this was a tiny gamble from my side.
Of course, I mean, fresh Cantillon, always a gamble.
Yes.
And it's really nothing to slight Cantillon for, because they make so many amazing gueuze. And they do so many different variants and styles and everything. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to absolutely love what they're doing. But their fresh stuff, I mean, the fresh gueuze is always a real gamble for them, for some reason. Same thing with the Creek. I think their Creek is not bad fresh, but it definitely benefits from a bit of shelf life.
I think Cantillion Creek is too acidic when it's fresh.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, man, this is another really impressive entry. So what do you give this?
Strong for 2.5. I can't give it a 4.5. It's
Why
not.
not?
It's not really a 4.5 because I'm such a Driefonteinen fanboy, and I know exactly what the good Driefonteinen Gueuze blends taste like fresh, and they're just slightly better than this, and those land at a 4.5. If I had never had any Driefonteinen, I think this would have been a 4.5. It's a 4.5 minus.
Well, I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I think that the lemon lime tartness, the slight mineraliness at the end, combined with the really light carbonation, just present a really intense, delicate bouquet that you can really, really enjoy. Which I can't say I've experienced very much with a lot of fresh Cantillon. And so it might just be like, I feel like this is the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
And so therefore I'm getting a little bit higher because I really appreciate like the fact that this really is better than what I normally get from fresh Cantillion Gueuze.
I get it. You were kind of bracing yourself for a potential train wreck from a brewery that usually does good stuff because we've been burned in the past.
Exactly. But man, this really, really is like, I wish I could get this year round and just like have this in the fridge just to kind of like pop out.
I'm really glad you liked the. When you package up a present, you always want the recipient to like it, right?
Exactly.
Nice. We are on a good track for
Yeah.
this year's
First 3
calendar.
days have been really amazing. So this is really, I can't wait to see what day 4 brings us. Okay, so we'll wrap it up here. Until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.